Hey, it's Van Ondi, and you're listening to Best Week Ever. This is the podcast where we break down everything that made this week amazing. Big stories, small wins, and those unforgettable moments that made us go, whoa, what a week. Each week, I bring on some incredible guests to chat about what's happening, share their stories, and help us figure out who's absolutely crushing it. And of course, who's having the worst week ever. Because let's be honest, we all love a little bit of drama. So if you're here for the buzz, the laughs, and maybe a little tea, you're in the right place. New episodes drop every Friday. Follow now, and let's make this your best week ever. Welcome back, guys, to another week of Best Week Ever podcast. I am here with an old friend that has changed up her podcast, changed up her handle for In Love Books. Alexandria used to be Pessimist at its finest. Please let my listeners know what you're up to, what your handles are, and where we can find you.
Okay, so I'm still pessimism at its finest for podcasting, but I now have like a big romance book presence, and I'm romance at its finest for romance books, romance films, all that cool stuff. And somebody took romance at its finest in emails, so I kept trying. And then I got for love and books, and I was like, you know what? It kind of works. We'll use it for now. But those are my handles.
Well, girl, since we're here on the podcast right now, what are your thoughts on Hot Girl Reads?
Okay. I think that it's like hot girl walk. Like they're coining or trademarking these terms that you would just say, and they're trying to charge people for saying these things or making merch with these terms. I think hot girl reads has been around for a very long time. I think there's so much merch
Tumblr
with it.
days.
Tumblr days. Etsy's filled with it. I think that it's something where it doesn't make sense to kind of pull back the term. How many Etsy sellers would you have to sue to even get this off the site? I just think it's pretty selfish to the community. But then I also think, and it's unfortunate to say, in our capitalistic world, there's always someone being selfish with these things. So it was a lovely thing that we had. Now someone's being selfish, but I would like to see from a legal standpoint how they're going to implement it.
Yeah, I know she kind of redacted herself and has taken a step back and is actually listening to her commentators that was just bashing her. And I think she really is rethinking her thought on Hot Girls Read and decided to not trademark it because I think that's what she was doing, where like she was trying to make it sound like she came up with it. It's a new thing when like you're a reader, I'm a reader, like, hot girls already knew reading books that this has been around for years.
Yeah. For sure. So I just think it's selfish and capitalistic, and she shouldn't have done it.
I agree with you 100%. Guys, as always, we're gonna start off with our worst week ever topics, worst week ever honorable mention. Who's on your worst week ever honorable mention this week?
I have to start with Kylie Jenner. I absolutely have to. So for those of you who don't know, she teamed up with Meta and I believe Ray-Ban to create
Mhm.
these new glasses. They're called the Meta Starfire Kylie Edition AI glasses, and they're $399. And the features are that have Kylie's AI voice with an HD camera within them that captures videos and photos. And the reason why it's my worst week ever is that I think it's an incredibly slimy thing to do to inconspicuously record people in their everyday to day life. I like a bunch of people said it was predatory and disgusting, like a form of mass surveillance. And I think as a society, if we're getting to the point where we're just filming everybody and we're not allowing people to live their lives in a natural state, like what are we doing? So I think it takes away from us being comfortable to be who we are, but also it has huge privacy concerns because what if you're just living your life and now you're being recorded and you're being put on the internet and you don't want to be? What is that going to open us up to as a society? So I kind of hate that part.
It's super creepy. I did see a video where a guy with his Meta glasses zoomed in on people's faces, and then the recognition comes up on your phone. And it showed this guy who did like a podcast 4 years ago. And he went up to him like a celebrity. And of course, this person was just like, whoa, you know me? And it was just, no, he creepily face recognition your face, scanned it, and then like
hyped you up at the fact that he thought he knew you and was a fan.
Yeah.
So creepy. And we all know that these meta glasses are meant for men to predatorily be a pedophile, be checking up on women. And it's just so disgusting because we already, I don't know what your thoughts are in this, but like I've been to beaches where men are taking pictures of women like blatantly at the beach. And like I know my aunt, she was a victim of this where she's like, "Yo, you can just talk to me. You don't have to take a picture of me. Like why don't you just come up and talk to me?" And it's just so disgusting how they're trying to sell these glasses as some sort of like new futuristic era when really it's like, no, you're just making pedophilia normalized in my eyes.
And that's one side of it too. For me, my biggest fear with them, and I don't know if you notice it, people going up and taking these random videos of people and making fun of them, or people at their worst moments, like if they fall downstairs, if they're having medical emergencies. To me, that's the creepy part. I also think if you have them on and you go into restrooms, I know that there are laws against filming, but how are you supposed to stop someone from actually filming any footage in those contexts? For me, it's yeah, the beach is a one thing, and, like, obviously, men misusing it is another thing, but I think as a broader society, it takes away that element of privacy that you have, and that's the part that scares me the most.
And I know you mentioned Kylie as being the worst week ever for not only advertising and promoting these new glasses, but also she came out with a video of her trying on the glasses, a day in a life of her. And it's so I know we're in the era of eat the rich, but this is so blatant of how she lives her life and she has just servants around her and it really just showed her life being um, an elitist. And these
Yeah.
glasses, like you said, are $399. So it's there's some sort of classism going on with these glasses as well. What are your thoughts on that?
I think Kylie and the Kardashian I was about to call them the Kardashian clan, is that bad to say? I feel like
No.
So, I feel like they're extremely out of touch at this point, and I was listening to a think piece about how we loved the Kardashians pre-COVID because they lived in the lap of luxury, and that's what we aspired to have. But since the tides have changed and the economy has changed, we don't revere them anymore because they're just not they don't exemplify what we feel we can attain. And I think they have not shifted their function in pop culture with the times, and that makes anything they do 10 times worse. Having said that, I think that they'll do anything for a quick buck, whether it's something that you shouldn't do or whether it's something that is kind of questionable, like these Meta glasses. So for me, I was more disgusted not by her show of wealth, but by her inability to see from right and wrong with the product she was promoting. So that was kind of like my mentality. I'm like, "You are out of touch, girl, and I hate this for you."
Very out of touch. And there were a time, I know this is back in the 2010s when the family was being shown on E for the reality show The Kardashians. There was some authenticity there. There was genuinism when it came to showing their real life of trying to make it in Hollywood image. And once they actually got like millions of dollars, I have to bring it back to us viewers where we're like, we made you and we're going to break you at this point because it does give payola, it does give broke. The fact that Kim Kardashian a couple years ago was all about the Tesla truck, ugly van that, and her robot, it really shows that you're right. They are willing to do anything for a quick paycheck.
They are. And I wonder how this machine will fall because it's really backed and it's really propped by billionaires. So again, we would love to see the machine fall, and I don't think they're doing as well as they were like when back when they were on E. I just don't think they are, but they're not doing bad. And I think they've made really good investments or become silent investors in a lot of these small companies. And that's really what's keeping them going. It's not them being the face of anything in the way they used to be. So I just wonder when the machine will fall or when it will crumble or if it will even, because we know billionaires rule the world and that's what they are.
They are. I mean, I think they're scam billionaires. I don't really think that they're actually billionaires. They never showed us paperwork or proof, especially when it came to Kylie's cosmetics.
Yeah,
And she was on Forbes for being the first billionaire. Yeah, they don't have the paperwork to show and back up their real money. And I know I put this on my bingo card, and guys, you're probably already sick of me saying this, but give it time. We're only halfway through the year. I feel like we are almost there. I see it with everybody talking, how they talk about them, how they are so unlikable, even with Timothy Chalamet. I
wait.
really do think that he's kinda, now that he lost that Academy Award and now he did that advertisement with Kelce, you can't tell me that Kris Jenner was all behind that.
I think Timothy was always a very preppy New York boy, and they have an archetype. And Kylie is his type. They're the type of boys that smoke their weed, do their drink, do their little social drugs. They've always been like that. And I think we as a society tried to put Timmy in a box he didn't fit in. And I think in some ways, him not winning that Academy Award was a blessing in disguise because it just allows him to be himself in a way I don't think he was able to authentically be himself before. I don't want to say it's Chris giving Timmy opportunities fully just because Timmy does have power behind him. He's an incredible actor and he's a box office hit, kind of like Zendaya. Having
Mhm.
said that, I do believe that he was typecasted to be this next Leonardo DiCaprio in some ways. And I think him losing the Oscar allowed him to be like, fuck it. Can I swear? Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. It allowed him to be like, fuck it. I am now just going to be who I want to be and date who I want to date. And that's why he's acting so rambunctious. He's just acting like a typical NYC boy to me.
Yeah, since we're on the Kylie Jenner topic, what are your thoughts with Kylie and this lawsuit that just came out about her chef? I know there was a TikTok video that is going viral about this flight attendant who has called her rude, who also pointed out that she basically has orgies in these private jets with her daughter present. Like, what are your thoughts on Kylie with this lawsuit and her future with this whole entire trial?
I've only heard about the chef part. I haven't heard about the rest of it. My thoughts on this, I'm not shocked. I'm not
Yeah.
incredibly shocked about it. I think when you're rich and you think that you're better than everybody else, you treat people who are not at your level as a subordinate and you can really disrespect them. So I'm not shocked to hear any of this. And I wouldn't be surprised if the other Kardashians are like that. The only one I could see kind of having respect for people is Chloe. That's that's it. And in all honesty, I don't even really see Scott 100% being like that. So these anything I hear about the Jenners these days or the Car Jenners does not shock me in any capacity.
I mean, you're so right. The Jacob Elordi and Kendall of it all really gives PR to me. But at the same time, Jacob Elordi loves a rich gal. We've seen that with Olivia Jade.
I hope they last. I kind of want them to last. They're both the same type of lanky. And
They
I kind of
are.
I kind of like that they're both tall and super duper lanky. It appeals to my eye. It's like scratches the right part of my brain looking at if that's crazy to say.
I mean, Kylie used to be one of my favorites out of the whole Kardashian clan, but Kendall is really showing me that she is truly the black sheep in the family
For sure.
and wants to be detached from whatever bad negativity posts are out there. With Kylie, I just think she's out of touch, just like you've said. We had a glimpse of during the Knicks game, her being by her man's side where she actually showed some relatability, but with these glasses, it just took 10 steps backwards.
100%.
I love that. My worst week ever honorable mention this week is Oprah Winfrey. And the reason for that is because Oprah Winfrey recalls Whitney Houston's stage fall after a relapse. Now, I don't know about you, but I used to watch Oprah Winfrey right after school. She had really great interviews and some toxic way of talking to her audience, but she was sharing a previously untold story about Whitney Houston, one that almost became tabloid fodder. Speaking during a conversation at the Cannes Lions Festival, Winfrey revealed that Houston once fell off stage while performing the Oprah Winfrey Show. According to the media icon, the incident happened after the singer had relapsed, and she immediately moved to shield her friend from public humiliation. She goes on to say that these were times where she asked her audience to put their phones down, and she was like, and they listened. That wouldn't happen today. But her telling this story could have been silently known and kept in a lockbox and not actually bring an icon down just to let the audience know that times are different. But I don't know. It was just really, really ugly. Before that interview began, Winfrey said she stopped production to speak privately with Houston. We did the whole "Hey girl, how you doing?" greeting thing and then stopped the cameras and I went behind stage. So tell me, what do you want to happen here? I'm going to tell you what I want to happen here. And that was one of the most powerful interviews. We're talking about like eating the rich, and Oprah Winfrey has been known to be in the Epstein files. She has been known to be in the private jets with the Epsteins. But Houston died in February of 2012 at the age of 48 after an accidental drowning, but Winfrey remained close to those she left behind. She attended the singer's private funeral and later interviewed the singer's daughter, Bobby Christina Brown, which RIP, we know what happened to Bobby Christina Brown. But Winfrey to choose this moment to just put down her friend, the allegations, you know, it really just shows how horrible Oprah Winfrey is and how she's willing to bring someone down to put herself up. And that was just so distasteful for me. What are your thoughts? Did you see this video?
I didn't see the video, but I heard about it. What I will say is, first of all, I didn't know we had camera phones back at that time, or they were as good as they were. I'm like, did the Razor had the camera? I remember that. But we're talking way back in the day. I don't think I had a cell phone with a camera, so I was a little bit like, what's going on here? Having said that, it was more of a time where people wouldn't do that. People weren't so social media ready.
Hmm.
Oprah's been putting her foot in her mouth a lot lately. It's from the Michael
Yeah.
Jackson stuff. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know why she's doing this. Maybe she needs a talk show again. Maybe she needs a podcast again. Maybe she's
That
just holding.
magazine is not cutting it.
No, maybe she's just holding on to so much information that she needs to get it out and she's saying these crazy things. Or she needs media training again, but something's missing and she's once again not connecting with the people that she used to connect with in the way that she communicates. And I think she needs to reflect on that a little bit. But I think this is something PR training could fix. It's not a good look for her at all. She is getting the correct backlash, but I think that she has the ability to rectify it and not say anything wrong again with a little bit of PR training.
I mean, the only thing that's probably going to save her is her talking about how awful of a decision she had to choose Dr. Phil, to have Dr. Oz, put him in a pedestal. You know what I mean? At least backtrack and say, yeah, actually, I'm really upset that I put these people up in your TV screens because now they're actually ruining our nation. You know what I mean? We have Dr. Oz, who's just like, spewing misinformation about the medical field. And then we have Dr. Phil, who has so much evidence of how awful he is and how he doesn't have the credentials of actually being a doctor. If she can just tell us that she made these mistakes, especially let us know why she was on the Epstein list and why she was so chummy with Bill Clinton and Epstein in those times where she was invited to the Epstein Island, if she can be honest with us, I think that will be her only saving grace.
I think nobody wants to be honest about the Epstein Island. I would like one person to be honest about the Epstein Island. Do you know what I would love? And this might sound crazy. Your listeners might find this crazy. I want a billionaire on his last dying day, like he's in the hospital bed, just about to croak. And I want someone to give him a mic and I want him to just tell us everything and I want him to die 5 days later. Because if he's not going to die soon from old age, he won't say anything. And it has to be from old age because he can't just be like dying from cancer. He won't do it then. He has to be ready to purge himself right before he takes his last breath. And I want it recorded. And it's going to be the best tea we have. And then they can't do anything because he already passed away from natural causes. That's what I would love to happen. And I think that's the only way we'll get a true account from one of those men.
Alexandria, this podcast has been a manifestation lately where like I come on this mic and shit happens. Like it really literally comes true. And I'm hoping that person is either Bill Gates or Elon Musk. Both
We'll see.
terrible people, but they would probably be the only ones in their deathbed to actually like have a last say of what's really
I
going
think
on.
it's Clinton. Clinton's just doing this a lot lately. Yeah, I feel
My
like it's
God,
Clinton.
yes. He's been looking so deathly lately. I don't know if you saw him with Obama. I think they were at a FIFA international game and Bill Clinton was behind Obama. And I was like, that man is dying soon.
It's giving Clinton. Hillary's like just trying to protect the PR image, and Clinton's just like making it really hard. I feel like it'd be Bill. I have my money on Bill. We'll see.
Stay tuned, guys. Who's your worst week ever runner-up this week?
Canadians, I have to say, as Canadians, we got the short end of the stick. So tomorrow is our national holiday. We're July 1st. Americans are July 4th. We got our holiday on a Wednesday, smack in the middle of the week. I feel like that's terrible. Like, who wants a day off in the middle of the week? Nobody wants that. But I feel because we have historic wins in FIFA, that might be making up for it. But having said that, it kind of sucks. But the last games in Canada, I think, are July 2nd. So people can enjoy one of the last FIFA fan fests in their Canadian city on Canada Day. So maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. But for me, it sucks because I would love a Thursday or a Friday and then take a nice long weekend. In this case, I can't. So I think Canadians got the short end of the stick here.
I'm surprised that you guys don't have like a 5-day weekend because you have that day in the middle of the week. I know Americans, if we had July 4th in the middle of the week, we're taking a whole weekend off. Like no one's showing up the day after July 4th.
No, we got to use our sick days or our vacation time, but we're back at work July 2nd on the Thursday. We're back at work.
That I'm so sorry for you because I know 4th of July, if you see me eating a hot dog, having fun on 4th of July, no, you didn't. I'm just there for the hot dogs and the burgers. I'm not there to actually celebrate America. I'm there for the day off.
I will say this, though. I've listened to a lot of national anthems. That Star Spangled Banner hits differently. It's an amazing national anthem.
You
If
should
have
listen to the Rise one. I think that one gives me chills.
Which one?
It's the Black American version.
I've heard that one. I've heard that one. I like that one too.
I've heard it in so many versions, especially a cappella and like choir, and it literally gives me more chills than actual Star Spangled Banner.
I was about to say, so that one, I think one year at the Super Bowl, they performed it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really, really well done. From a vocalist point of view, like from doing musical theater and singing my whole life, if you have the vocal chops, Star Spangled Banner is one of the few songs where you have to do multiple ranges. And if you have a beautiful voice, you can eat that song down. But like Chris Stapleton's like what I think of. Whitney Houston is someone I think of. Luther Vandross. So I think when you have the vocals for it, not Fergie, it really is a powerful song. But yeah.
Speaking of Whitney Houston, I still go back. I have it on saved on my YouTube. It is one of my favorite Star Spangled Banner songs. Whitney Houston, like it gives me chills. The Lift Every Voice and Sing is the song that I was talking about. It's the Black American Star Spangled Banner. And I wish she was alive for her to just sing that version. Because the Star Spangled Banner, like, it's one of my favorite YouTube videos to go back on.
Well, it's amazing. Her version's considered the greatest Super Bowl version of it of all time. So
I love it.
It's great. It's great.
Well, my worst week ever honorable mention, guys, and this is so upsetting for me because you guys know how much I love this show, but it is The Ladies of London. There's been some talk about why the reason Ladies of London is put on pause, and one thing that I need Bravo to stop telling us viewers that shows are on pause, just tell us it's canceled. You know what I mean? You've been telling Dorinda for the past, it's going to be almost 10 years that she's been put on pause. I know she's going to be in Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, but she's not going to be in the new Roni. So stop telling me that she's on pause. Ladies of London is allegedly on pause because Margot from the cast has been feeling so cringe of watching herself back on this show that she actually allegedly is suing Bravo for having a bad edit. And I don't know if you saw Ladies of London, Margot was the worst out of the whole bunch of the women, but she was actually fun to watch. And I was actually excited to see if she would redeem herself in the second season. But it's really bad for me this week because not only did Ladies of London get paused, but also Martha Stillwell, who is Lady Martha. She is the most likable cast member of the show. Her bird, Hecate, actually drowned, and we all have loved the fact that we love this pet that she had in her house. It's a bird where if you actually looked at it wrong, it will peck the fuck out of your eyes out. And I know that he went missing for a couple weeks, but lo and behold, he came back to Martha. And the same day that Ladies of London was told that it is on pause, canceled, whatever you call it, was the same day that Hecate was actually drowned and found dead. But I don't know if you watch Ladies of London. It's no surprise for me that Margot is suing the franchise, suing the network because she is all about image. That's what she gave in the show, especially her being an actress, her showing off this Airbnb house that she claimed to have it as her own house. It's just really terrible news for us because Margot wasn't the only character on that cast that had hate. I'm thinking of, oh my God, I'm already forgetting her name, Dara, who started off in the season and then by episode 3 she was out because she did not like how she was being portrayed with her friend Nika. And if anything, she should be the one that should be suing the network. Not that I condone suing a network. You're never gonna win. I'm sorry. Look at Brit Eady. But it's just a terrible week for us Lady of Londons and us millennials who actually love this show. I feel like we were the only like I'm thinking of my friend Tom, I'm thinking of my friend Taria, what else is going on? We love this show because it just gave us like a slice of life, how it Bravo used to be when it first aired in 2005, 2006 of the Housewives. And I know Ladies of London is gonna appear on our TV screens in Bravo as a band-aid, but it's not gonna it's a worst week ever on our but runner up for me for sure. Have you watched Ladies of London?
I actually haven't heard of Ladies of London until you said, but now I'm going to add it to the list after I
Please do.
start Love Island USA.
Please do. It's only 8 episodes. That's
Right.
what really like is getting me amped up because I was like, they gave us so much in just 8 episodes. They could have given us more. I want us to go back to like 16, 23 episodes.
We need to. Like the pit. The pit was feeding us. That's why I loved it. I was locked in.
I love that. But yeah, that is my worst week ever runner up. Who is your worst week ever winner in pop culture this week?
This was one where I had to oscillate, but I think the other one I had kind of refers to yours. So I'm going to go with the one I picked. And it's the JP Morgan Chase executive who got fired. So when the Knicks won, Knicks in 6, she actually really wanted one of the commemorative painted City of New York sanitation garbage bins. So she took it up, dumped all the garbage on the floor, and then went home with this bin. But somebody using their phone, in the future it could be meta glasses, unfortunately, so be careful about that, but using their phone, filmed them doing the whole thing. Actually, somebody else filmed her on the subway with it, and it went viral, and they found her employer, and she got fired. So her name's Angie. I think her last name's, well, you know what? Let's not expose her last name, but it's on Yahoo if you want to find it. Her name is Angie, though. And yeah, she got fired for it. A spokesperson from the New York City Department of Sanitation told Yahoo that she returned the stolen can on June 24th. And she received 2 fines, one for littering, one for impeding sanitation department operations, and the total fine is $175. And I think this is the worst week ever winner for me because you wanted a commemorative can, and that turned into not only a fine, but a loss of income. And to be an executive at Chase or JP Morgan, you're making a boatload of money. So she really fumbled the bag. And with the salary that she was making, she could have just paid someone to paint one. I don't know why she didn't
Yeah,
do that.
you're so right. I wanna know how her funds are right now because you're so right. When I saw the video, I was just disgusted at the fact that she littered. I'm like, "You coulda gotten a freaking trash bag, get rid of that trash and actually put it in a bin, and then you would have been okay." But the fact that she got called out, I don't like it because there's so many men out there who are domestically abusing women and they still have their jobs, MLB. And like this is just an everyday working woman who wanted a commemorative souvenir. I can think of I was in my 20s. You know how many times I went to a bar and I was like, "I really like this fucking cup.
Yeah.
Let me put this in my purse."
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like they are targeting women with these videos and it's pissing me the fuck off. And it is a worse week cuz like what do you mean she got fired?
For me, I do believe that the city of New York had the right to fine her. I think she absolutely deserved the fine, and I think she should pay it.
Yes.
I appreciate that she returned the bin, mind you, 6 days later, but I appreciate that she returned the bin. But I don't know if she should have been fired for this. I do think it's the worst week ever because of that. I also think it was a poor judgment, but sometimes when you're so excited and you're so hyped, you make poor judgment. So I think that's what
Yeah.
happened there. I just
Like I
don't
said, it's a
know.
drunk moment. Like, you know how many times I've stole a shot glass or
Yeah.
a
When
beer
you think
glass
about
because
it
I
that
was in a
way
drunk moment?
when you think about it that way, it's kind of insane, but the fact that it went viral, went back to her employer, they ID'd her, they got her first and her last name from IDing her online, got her LinkedIn info, everything, sent it to her company. She got fired is crazy. But I also think it goes to show working in these executive positions, it's so easy to be let go. Like you don't know when it could happen to you or for what reason. And I think that's what's nerve wracking, especially in this economy right now. So, and that ties back into my meta glasses point of view or point we're just taking away people's freedoms in society to make these little mistakes. And I don't necessarily love the whole recording of people. That's more my time for this one. Back to Kylie in some ways, but this is definitely a worst week ever winner.
Yeah, I'm hoping someone will actually have some leniency and understand that the fact that she was just in the moment of New York City. I've seen so many people just trash cars, you know what I mean? Especially in sporting events. I'm not even talking about the Knicks. I'm talking about college sports where these men are just like freely moving around, destructing and being domestically abusive, and they still get to work their fucking 9 to 5.
That's true. It's true when you think about it. And all she did was take a trash. She took the trash out. No,
Well, my worst week ever is Trump State Fair, who is facing fresh embarrassment, and I'm here for it. Amid the sparse attendance, empty spaces, and just 2 rides at Donald Trump's long promised Great American State Fair, some attendees managed to make an interesting discovery, but likely won't please the president. While riding the Freedom 250 Ferris wheel, fairgoers spotted problems with the tacky plywood, mock up of Trump's planned triumphal arc, the mini arc, which online critics have compared to the undersized Stone Age This Is Spinal Tap, is installed at the event to remind the public of another expensive vanity project, currently estimated at $100 million that the president hopes will mark his legacy. That is $100 million that is being from us taxpayers. The actual arc modeled of the Arc de Triomphe in Paris would soar 250 feet if it's completed, making it nearly twice as high as London Memorial and even taller than France's iconic monument. But if you were to see these videos, I think 50 people were in this whole entire fair. I know he has gone online and said millions of people have joined, 400,000 veterans have joined. No, he's a liar, just like he's lied about everything, especially now that SCOTUS has named him an official rapist on his trial with the Jane Doe. And actually, it's not Jane Doe. It's her name is out there. I just need to find it. But the fact that he is still becoming such a tyrant and we are paying for it, I can't even get you started with the reflecting pool, how he has just ignored everything about it. And it's such a great reflection of how America is just this perceiving image that we're trying to say that we are the best when really no, we are not the best. I can name other countries that are the best and you can come for me. I don't really fucking care. Even with July 4th coming around the corner. But 90s rapper Vanilla Ice was one of the few people willing to go on the show because, as he said, the Ice Ice Baby rapper said he didn't care about politics. And he was scheduled to perform Friday night, but his concert was canceled just 2 hours before he was set to take stage due to weather. And despite the sparse attendance, Trump insisted that his appearance at the open rally on Wednesday drew 45,000 people, a figure that wasn't backed up by witness accounts or photographic evidence. Overall, the Great American State Fair isn't very great, according to The Atlantic. And yeah, I don't feel bad for anyone who voted for him. I know there's been a lot of videos of white women and white men who are just out here saying, like, I can't pay for my groceries. And it's like, yeah, well, this is what you fucking asked for. And we still don't know who's on the Epstein list. We will probably never get that file out. And that's why it is on this beautiful weekend of July 4th. Trump is my worst week ever in pop culture,
That man's my worst week ever every week.
in life.
I think and this is not even like the state fair. First things first, just to address the Great American Fair, it's what's called. Okay.
Yes.
Trump is an elitist. And so he's going to plan the Great American Fair on the backs of taxpayer dollars and not invite any of his constituents because they are not within the same class bracket. And so, but those same constituents will believe everything he says because they're in areas, unfortunately, and this is not to be like a mean person, but if you look at a lot of the areas that vote for him or that support him, they don't have high quality public school education systems. They don't really have access to cable television due to the cost of cable television. So they use a lot more streaming services. And if they do, a lot of the times, some of the free stations that are offered to them are Fox 1, Fox 2, Fox 3, which is just perpetuating whatever Trump is saying. So it's a very systemic issue that's been allowed to continue to perpetuate that supports him and his agenda. In terms of, as a Canadian, having Trump in office and not feeling bad for people who voted for him, it's not even that I don't feel bad for people who voted for him. I think that he has so much power and America has so much power. And it's like giving all this power to a child. Like you have a kid in a candy store and you have no checks and balances for that kid in the candy store. So the kid basically has diabetes and sugar's like running through his body. And that's how he's impacting the economies, not just of his own country, but internationally. And so many people around the world, whether you look at Lebanon, Iran, Canada, France, everywhere, they're all feeling the impacts of these decisions that he makes. So domestically, it's bad, but internationally, it's also bad on that same scale. So I think that first things first, America's got to figure out what checks and balances look like, whether that's releasing the Epstein files, whether that's having a stronger Supreme Court rulings. I'm so happy today that they voted against his ending birthright citizenship. That was today. But I think that as a society, and I think people need to kind of look at the fact that this is the source of a lot of these problems domestically. And do you like these and how would you like it to change? And that's my whole preface on Trump and everybody who votes for him. I think it's an unfortunate thing that we've let him run amok in this way.
And whoever's behind him either. I know I can be on this mic all day and blame Trump, but it's also his team. It's a Republican. It's also the Democratic Party that is allowing him to run amok and not actually defending our democracy rights. He is a toddler. Baby needs a nap. We saw that at the Knicks game where he left by the second period, my bad. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he probably didn't even stay up till Vanilla Ice's performance.
I also hate that he went into the Knicks games because he cut off people's ability to watch it outside for free. Like, you're so selfish that you decided to do that. Why'd you do that? I'm glad the Knicks did not go to the White House.
No, he definitely cursed us. And I know you put that in your worst, I think it's in your best week ever for the Knicks not going to the White
I
House.
I said worst week honorable mention because for Trump it's obviously a huge ego hit that they
Yeah.
declined his invitation, but I'm happy they declined it. I'm proud of them. Go New
So
York.
proud. I feel like the only one that is okay is James Dolan, the CEO owner of the Knicks, and whatever Robinson, who is actually the one who voted for Trump. And I'm so glad for Knicks fans for calling out these people who work alongside the Knicks. I don't know if you saw this viral moment where this guy, Sophie Cunningham with her dumb finger pointing. There, he went through a bunch of comments and he found one guy who actually works for the Knicks and he wrote, chimping over a finger is crazy. That's right. That's what he wrote. And he called him out and he does Jalen Brunson's hair. He does OG's hair. He is known to be the hair stylist, hair cutter, barber for these Knicks players. And I'm pretty sure he lost his job because he had so many posts just posting about how, like, I'm not racist. And I'm like, then why'd you say it then? Why'd you write it then?
Yeah.
These
There's
people
this
need to be
guy
found.
there's this guy on Instagram, he goes through comments and finds all the racist people and finds their criminal history and contacts their jobs, and it's actually quite hilarious to watch. I'll send it to you after this.
Yes, please do, because I do have a great time watching that all the
You're
time.
gonna laugh. You will.
Well, now we're going to move on to our best week ever winners in our topics. I will go first with our best week ever, and that is Amanda Batula being fired from Summer House. I know she's going to appear in The City season 2. We don't know for sure if she's going to be coming back for In the City. I guess we'll have to wait and watch the reunion. But the longtime Summer House star who has appeared on with Bravo show since its first season, which pisses me off, guys. She was a booty call in the first season. She wasn't even a main character. She wasn't even in the cast. She literally snaked her way in to be in the Summer House, but she will not be on hand when cameras pick up for the forthcoming 11th season. E! News has reached out to Amanda's rep, but did not receive any immediate response. Amanda's exit is quite a shakeup for her relationship with Kyle Cook, with whom she confirmed her breakup after 4 years of marriage, and has been a major centerpiece of the reality series since it began in 2017. Of course, in the months since season 10 wrapped, Amanda and co star Wes Wilson began dating, and with the March revelation irreparably fracturing the cast dynamic. As for Wes, just day before Amanda's departure, he was revealed as well that he is confirmed about his own exit. And I'm happy to see both of these go. Also, it really leaves a question mark for Sierra. I know she's in Fiji right now, co-hosting with Tefi on the After Sun, which I've been having so much fun. I don't know what you guys are. There's so many people who don't want to watch After Sun. I get it. The past After Suns were a bit boring. I would have to like fast forward. But with Sierra and Tefi, they are giving viewer responses. They are giving actual commentary of how the audience feels about these Love Islanders. And during Summer House's recent reunion, Sierra, who has been in Fiji, unleashed on Wes and Amanda over their betrayal. And I've been having such a fun time just following Sierra, despite knowing that she did comment on someone else's threads. There was someone who asked, like, oh, where can I get great wings in Atlanta? And she named 4 out of the, like, 4 spots. And out of those 4 spots, 3 of them were chains. So I'm here to tell you that I love Sierra, but I also have my doubts with Sierra sometimes. You guys have heard me here in the past where I really do think she gives out mean girl vibes with her Valley Girl accent. But I'm so happy because these two being out of the Summer House will probably give relief for Sierra to actually come back. But also, I would be really happy if she didn't come back. I feel like as Alandria, she is past reality TV and she is going to succeed, whether it be a commentator on After Sun or whether she's going to be an actress. Because I know in the Shibuzi music video, it showed me that that girl has actual talent of being an actress. But what are your thoughts with Summer House and Sierra?
I've never seen Summer House. Not sure who Sierra is, but I do know Teffy because she's Hello Teffy, right?
Hello, Teffy. Yes, girl.
Okay, I love her commentary on TikTok, so I'm obsessed with Teffy. So maybe I have to give it a watch.
I mean, them two, their dynamic, their chemistry, I just love their banter. They really go at it. And that's what I love about both of them because it really gives authentic. You know, it's not like reporting. Like, I don't want to give any diss to Mora. Mora did such a great job, Mora Higgins, when it came to the After Sun. And I also love my Maya Jama. Maya Jama is like the way that I've been doing the same workouts that she does so I can get her body is so T. Great blunt rotation. I want Maya Jama, I want Mora Higgins, I want Sierra, I want Teffy, and I want Ariana. That is my dream blunt rotation at this moment. But
I
yeah,
gotta
if you got to watch After Sun when you're watching along USA.
well, sidebar because it's my obsession off campus. So the guy who plays Garrett Graham, Belmont Cameli, is obsessed with Summer House.
Ooh, I
Obsessed
didn't know that.
with it. And he was like, I'm waiting for the reunion. He starts breaking down like what's going on in an interview. He like goes on tangents all the time, but he is obsessed with Summer House. I'll find his commentary and send it to you.
Yes, I now need him and Sierra to, like, have some sort of interview. Like,
He would
that the
die.
banter.
He
Yes.
would die. Like he loves that.
I love that. That is a great fact to know about him.
Yeah.
Now I have to ask you, who's your best week ever honorable mention this week?
This is hard because I have two and I don't know which one to say.
Just
Okay.
say it, girl, because we'll talk about it.
I'm gonna go for the first one. I thought this was a really cute moment. So Zendaya was on the red carpet. I always say her name wrong. Is it Zendaya or Zendaya? Zendaya?
I say Zendaya, but I've heard that the correct term is Zendaya.
Okay, so maybe I've been saying it right the whole time, Zendaya. I don't. Okay. She was asked what trait about her husband Tom Holland she would want to forget, and she said, "I don't think I'd like to forget anything about Tom. He's my favorite person, so it's all great for me." And I think it's the cutest thing I've ever heard. And if someone said it about me, that'd be a win for me because I'd be like, "Oh, you love me that much that you just love everything about me." It's PR answer, but I just thought it was such a cute one.
Even care. I love them so much. I love how private they are. I love how they respect each other's spaces when it comes to their careers because, you know, they are coming out with their Spider-Man movie and I feel like Tom Holland like praises her so much and vice versa. She's always praising him. And I really don't like that journalist asking that question because that was just her trying to make her look bad and also trying to make like trying to get tea
Yeah,
off of her relationship so it can be like a headline. You know what I mean? Like a clickbait.
right. So I agree with that as well, but I thought it was just cute and the clickbait worked out because she was PR ready. And I gotta insert this last one before I go. So you said a few weeks ago you talked about Jake Short calling his ex-fiance Mika Abdallah some bitch on a podcast. But Mika Abdallah is now dating her rumored co-star, Josh Houston, who played Justin Cole. Can't stand Justin in Off Campus after ending her engagement. And I just wanted to bring it up as an honorable mention because I love when two hot people get together and they're so hot. They were in Paris together. Did you see the picture of Josh pulling her hair in the convenience store?
Yes.
I was like, oh my God, that's so hot.
I know there was so much like online commentary of being like, "Oh my god, what is he doing?" Like it's so I this is a rebound baby and like she needs this rebound knowing that she was with that person I think 6 years
Long
and
time.
a very long time. So let her get fucked correctly. You know what I mean? Let her get handled by an actual man. And after being in that relationship, I know I've said this a couple weeks ago where she was called some bitch in his podcast.
But yeah,
nonetheless. Yeah, I after that whole commentary of like dump your man and she's actually having fun and you can tell that she sexually experienced a better life now, it's great for everyone.
I'm happy for her. I'm happy for all her rights and all her wrongs.
Yes, let her live, let her experience. I think that's one thing that I know I posted this on Threads, because Gen Z, I'm sorry, you are almost moving into the same path as boomers, where you're so conservative and so prude that you are not allowing yourself to experience experiences. You know what I mean? You're not being sexually active and how like, I'm sorry, but you need to be sexually active to know what you like, what you don't like, how you wanna be treated, how you don't wanna be treated. Being stuck with one man since you're 19, girl, get the fuck out of here. You need to live life. That's just my opinion.
Date, even go to the park. Who's the
Yes, talk to
who's the
people.
Scott Galloway? Like he wrote a book on it, like Notes on Being a Man, and he's been doing podcasting about it. He said that women are progressing more than men because we socialize better and we're willing to go to happy hours while men these days are not. And that's also making men stifled. And as somebody who's out there dating, I feel it. I really do. But then at the same point in time, on the other hand, I don't want to date someone in their like late 40s, early 50s because they have the socialization skills over the years, but someone at my age doesn't have it.
Yeah, no,
Or-
it's really pissing me the fuck off how this new generation, especially men, are expecting some sort of like tier with women when it's like, no, you should be allowed to experience these things so you know in the long run, like this will last, you know? I found my husband when I was 30, he was 35 at the time, and it was just, like, perfect timing for us because 'cause we've lived through life. We've found experiences to know what we don't like, what we don't want to put up with, and it was just perfect timing. Like, my daughter is like, "Oh, did you meet in high school?" And I'm like, "No, girl. You don't wanna meet a man in high school and get locked down right away," especially college, 20s. Those are the times where you need to, like, put yourself out there and be a hoe. Sorry.
I think if you find a man who's like willing to let you like live life on the side, because
Yes.
I find some partners, and not just men, some women too, like they want you with them all the time, like a security blanket. But if you find
Mhm.
somebody who's secure in themselves, they're like, yeah, go out till 2 o'clock in the morning with your girls and
Yeah.
that stuff. You still get those same experiences, but you just get to go home to one person. So I think it's also the mentality of the young people and how they're willing to hold hands and grow. Because actually, one of my cousins, he's been with his, they're not married to this day, but they've been together since it was grade 9 and the school had 2 levels, and he was talking to a friend and he looks up and he's like, "That's gonna be my wife." And they have 3 kids. They've been together since grade 9 and they're now in their 50s.
Wow. See, that's my parents are high school sweethearts, and I
Yeah.
feel like maybe I'm just a little bit jaded because they love to bicker and banter, and that's something me and my husband do not like to do. We air it out, and if we have a situation, we're gonna face it. We're not gonna banter and bicker
Yeah.
throughout the I don't know if it's like my upbringing. I am the product of a high school sweetheart family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm always like, no, I want to experience, I want to live life and then find the person who will allow me to live my life. And vice versa. When my husband wants to like do things with his boys or his friends, I push him. You know, I'm like, do you go? Yes,
Not for
exactly.
someone
You
that's
want
not
that
me.
mentality.
Yes.
Yes. Well, my best week ever runner up, guys, it's Love Island. And it's not Love Island USA, it's actually Love Island UK. I implore you guys to please check it out on Hulu or get a VPN. I know my friends have been, especially Nicole Countess in front of me, who is such a great internet friend of mine, has been telling me to get a VPN just for this show so I can be up to date. But Love Island fans are heavily divided over the toxic friends to lovers. I wouldn't call it toxic. Arc between original couple Lorenzo Alessi and Jasmine Muller. Many viewers are rooting for them to rekindle their romance, while others think that Lorenzo is stringing Jasmine along while he's with another Yasmin with a Y. But the yearning edits are really what's getting to me. I don't It's so funny. When it comes to Love Island UK, I skip over the unseen bits but because of Lorenzo and Jasmine, I've been watching them because it really shows how genuine their chats are compared to Jasmine and Kevin, the couple that she is in. It just feels like she's stifled. She is put in a box. She is told to not be herself, her flirty self, because her partner that she's coupled up with doesn't like it, compared to Lorenzo, who's just like, yeah, I like it when you yell at me. You know what I mean? I love it when you put me in my place because you can tell that this love triangle is going to explode. And I know the fan has been divided. I am very team Jorenzo, which is Jasmine and Lorenzo combined. And I am up in the episode where they asked for public tea or what the Islanders said behind their partner's back. And I can tell that the public tea is just really, really pushing for Jasmine and Lorenzo to actually look more inward with that couple because they were coupled up in the first couple episodes when the season started. And because Lorenzo is just a chill dude, that guy is a rock. He really has no personality, but I love him because he's half Italian and half Turkish. And you can tell with the boys, there's just this one clip, and I'll put it on the show notes, where he's asking the boys how they wipe their ass. And you see Finley, who's like, you just crumple it up like this and you wipe your ass. And Lorenzo's looking at him mad weird, being like, no, my mother literally taught me to fold my toilet paper and then wipe my ass. And they were making fun of him. And I was like, no, you guys are trash because he's showing you how to properly wipe your ass. And I can't believe Lorenzo, of all the men, is the one to have to teach you that. And I don't know, little moments like that when he has those chats with Jasmine and just how he talks about being raised. I'm like, he was raised by a good mama, an Italian mama at that.
Love to see this. I gotta finish Love Island USA, but then after I
Yes.
do that, I think I'll indulge in UK. I think
Oh
I
my God,
have it on
Alexandria.
one of my Prime subscriptions, actually.
I cannot wait for you to watch and have you tell me your thoughts on Lorenzo. And yeah, UK, they just have chats. I think that's one of the things that's really bugging me about USA right now. They're not talking to each other. Unless they're like editing it down to the fact that we're not seeing the chats, we're just seeing like the sexual part of it. But they really are great when it comes to actually having conversations with each other.
Okay, I gotta check this out then. I have to get back into my reality TV mode.
Yes. Who's your best week ever runner up this week in pop culture?
Okay, as I said to you at the start of this, like before we started recording, I'm in my off-campus obsession. I've watched so 8 times. I have my off-campus merch on right now, so whoever's like seeing the video will see it. I have to say my runner-up is Jalen Thomas Brooks. So he plays Mateo Diaz in On the Pit, and everybody loves him. He's like the hot male nurse, and he also plays John Tucker in Off Campus, and he's the only main cast member of color. So he's not Spanish. He's half Latino, half Black. So he speaks Spanish, obviously. But
What a
what
great
I'm trying to
combo.
say is that all the other cast members, including the women, all exceeded, at this point, I think they've all exceeded 2 million followers of the main cast, but he never hit 1 million. And this morning, he hit 1 million followers. So I'm really happy for him. I think it does show the subtle racism that's been taking place here. So that's kind of sad that it just took him this long. But for me, I wanted to mention it because I was so excited as I was thinking about what my best week runner up would be. And I'm like so happy that he finally got 1 million followers. So he's now in the millions club with his fellow castmates.
I'm so excited for him. And also, I love representation, especially when it comes to Black and Latinos. It's a great mix. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. Dominicans are my favorites because of that. Also, I am Colombian and my family background is just so mixed. And that's what I love about my culture. And I love to see a man in color winning.
Yeah, I'm happy. Like that's a huge win. 1 million it's a big number, but he deserves it, especially since his castmates have like what 5, 4, 3 million. No, he needed to be in the millions club too, and he's here now.
And I can't wait for season 2 because then we got to get him up to 2 to 4 million.
We have to. He's gonna have his season, his time in the sun. So he needs to get up there.
Well, my best week ever winner in pop culture is just Black excellence, and that is the BET Awards. We had Nina, we had Olandria, we had Dochi, we had Tia Mori, and we also had so many Black artists that are in the Hollywood industry, acting, singing. I love that Serena from past Love Island USA was there as well. Lizzo was there. I know she hasn't been doing so great in her sales when it comes to her music, but we had Candace Dillard, just so many women showing their face card, like Chloe and Halle Bailey. They were both there. Portia. I was having such a blast just watching all these women in the red carpet, especially Kayla Nicole, who has been my ultimate favorite of the year. And them down. And I know you said this earlier off recording, Drewski seeing that beautiful black chocolate Alandria walking down to find her seat. It was
So
so
funny.
great.
And also his like his redoing the church sermon that went viral. I thought that was hilarious. I thought I saw the funny moments, but I also they always eat down in terms of the dressing. Everyone that you
Yes.
mentioned is amazing. I did actually see Kayla Nicole doing some red carpet interviews for
No way. I
I
didn't
think
see
she
that.
I think she was doing some red carpet interviewing for the BET Awards. I could be wrong, but I think it or something else, but I saw her doing some red carpet interviewing. I love her. I think that she's handled everything that's been thrown her way with such stride and she's so beautiful. So like I love the BET Awards. I generally look at clips and then I look to see who won after. I
Same.
haven't
That's
sat down and watched a
exactly what I
whole
did.
I haven't watched a whole BET Awards from start to finish in a while. Maybe I
Me
need to
I
indulge.
I feel like because who was invited into the BET Awards, because 'cause I'm the same. I was watching clips, I was watching the performances, like, on Reddit and on Threads, so I wasn't really immersed into the whole BET Awards, but because of this carpet alone, I was like, "I'm gonna have to watch this whole entire thing," especially the Drewski opening with
So
Alandria,
funny.
like, I love Alandria. I'm so happy for her.
Same.
Just like I love her in yellow. It's one of my favorite colors on her, especially in the Jose Cuervo commercials. It's
Is she still with Nick? That's his name, right?
apparently so. Yeah, they still
Wow.
do things together. Yeah.
That's forever of wow. Okay, like go them.
I know, knock on wood, because like I know a lot of people are looking forward to their downfall. And I'm like, you guys are so negative. I actually love these two together. And the way that he always has her back in all the videos that he has, it just makes me so happy for them.
If they're a real couple, they're gorgeous. So I'm excited. I love them. I love looking at their posts. So I
Yeah.
hope they stay together forever.
Alexandra, who is your best week ever winner in pop culture this week?
Okay. It has to go to my king, Zoran Mandani. And I'm going to tell you why. I know that he had a stellar week last week in terms of like all the people that he supported winning their political roles. That's not why I want to talk about him today. So this week, two major things happened. He launched a $15 million initiative to expand gender affirmative care in New York City. It's not the state, New York City. But he also invested $495,000 in a New York State fund. So it's for the entire state, but New York City, that's their contribution to the abortion access hub. And what that does is it connects more people to abortion care, provides them with medication access, transportation, lodging, support services, no matter where they live within the state. So the reason why I wanted to bring this up is that when we think of a gender affirmative care, we sometimes just think about like transitional surgeries, but we need to also think about the psychology and the psychological impact as well. And the funding for this will help to pay for therapists to help people figure out like, is this something I even want to do? Is this something that I want to do right now? How do I want to go about it? And I think it's so important that we invest in the mental health of our communities. So think about it in a broader scope. Also, like if there are medications people need to support gender affirmative care, this will also feed into that as well. And also, if anybody needs supports, like I know we think about like Alcoholics Anonymous or Gambling Anonymous, but if we think about like those groups where families who may have been more traditionally conservative need to go to have those support spaces, this will also help with funding that as well. So we have to just stop thinking about transitional surgeries and also think about the entirety of the care. And I think this is amazing. And in terms of expanding the abortion fund, it seems like a small amount in contrast to gender affirmative care, but understand this is a portion being put into the entire pool for the whole state, which was already really well funded for abortion care. Again, supporting women who may have been assaulted, may be too young, may have ectopic pregnancy. You don't know what women may be going through. I think having these accesses and the funding to get the care that you need is so, so important, especially in these times. So I'm really, really proud there's like a politician in one of the highest, is it GDP? I think it's GDP states in America supporting this healthcare. So for me, that's my best week ever winner.
He really has the Democrats and the Republicans shaking in their boots because he's literally showing what change can do if you
Yes.
actually care about the citizens in your city, in your state. And he is the only one right now who actually cares about the people because he is a true New Yorker. He's Islamic. The way that they try, the Islamophobia is really bugging me because it's like their only excuse is to call him an Islamic terrorist, which is so racist. And the way that he's just showing an example of like this can be fixed. He balanced the budget.
Yeah.
I'm just so proud of New York City. If any out of all the cities in this nation, they really truly deserve their accolades of Mondami. It's like a dream come true. And I know a lot of people are pushing him to be president. And I just want him to be a great role model for our teens who are looking up to him, especially in New York City, who are just like, you know what, he's doing it. And I'm pretty sure I can do it elsewhere around this nation. And it's just like such a great example.
He's the male Princess Diana to me. That's what all I
Yes.
can equate him to. I think it's just a beautiful moment to see somebody who's close to like our age. Like he's 34
Hmm.
and he's taxing billionaires. Thank God. I love that. And he's just like New York has started to slowly turn around and you can never eradicate every issue. Like nobody's saying he needs to do that, but he really is making investments. Like we could talk about the rental freezes he put in, but just in terms of like this week, those are two things he did this week. So I thought I really wanted to highlight that. And I'm so happy that you have someone investing in healthcare at a time when you have politicians taking away and detracting from healthcare. So we love
I
him. We
love
love
him so
Mondami's New
much.
York.
And I love that suit that he wears that he jumps in the pool with. They really try
Yes.
to it's like the Obama tan suit, and it's just can we actually talk about what's really going on in the world instead of you complaining about him jumping in the pool with his suit on? Like, give me a fucking break.
Who cares? Let him live his life. He's making the people he's for the people.
He is for the people, and that's why I appreciate him so much,
Yes.
and like I said, I'm so excited just to go back east and feel the energy. I know we've had the Knicks one, we have a great mayor right now, and FIFA World Cup has really been showing us that humanity has hope. And I just can't wait to be in that energy for sure.
Same. I'm excited for you.
So we are going back to the year 2003. The song is Everything by Fifi Dobson. The last time you were on, you had I Want It My Way by Backstreet Boys. And this time we are listening to some punk pop music. I'm so excited. Please tell me, where were you when you first heard Everything by Fifi Dobson? And why is it your favorite from that era?
Okay, so first of all, I had to pick a different year because I picked 2000 the last time, so I picked 2003 this time. And in terms of this, I had to pick a Canadian. It's I was gonna pick a Canadian either way. Canada Day is tomorrow. So So I was picking a different song, and then as I was writing down the first time I heard that song, everything was playing in my head, and I said, "It's gotta be Everything." It's one of my favorite songs of all time, and it is my favorite Fifi Dobson song. It was used for the soundtrack for the 2004 film The Perfect Score, which features Chris Evans, one of his first big films, actually. And the first time I heard it, I was just watching Much Music, which is the equivalent to America's TRL Total, what was it called? TRL?
Total
Total Request
Request
Live?
Live.
Yes, that's our equivalent to it. And I loved the song. Like the video, I remember it clear as day, but I just heard the song and I loved it immediately. Downloaded it on my Walkman. You used to have to go to LimeWire and convert it, and I did that.
Yes.
And so there's she has 2 courses, and the 3rd course as she goes into, I forget what it's called, but there's a key change, and I think it's one of the most beautiful professions of, like, longing for love with a truly hard rock background, and then she goes into the soft rock, and I just think the way that it was arranged is perfect. But the lyrics are just so beautiful to me for a rock song, and that's why I love everything by Fifi Dobson. I don't think she gets her flowers, I think she deserves them, and if you haven't heard this song and you like rock, I implore you to go and listen to it.
Also, her music, that song has been used in One Tree Hill. I don't know if you, because I think this came out earlier where she is a singer-songwriter, and she co-wrote a song during a turbulent period in her career that was later recorded by Miley Cyrus for Hannah Montana 2 in 2007, and Dobson's album was shelved by her label, leading the song "Start All Over" being reassigned and
Yes,
ultimately recorded by Miley Cyrus.
that
And
was
despite the emotional weight of her hearing her song in another artist's album, Phoebe Dobson rebuilt her career after being dropped by her label, showcasing resilience and artistic independence in the face of industry challenges. And she still is that bitch.
she is, and you know what? It sucks, but she did get royalties for that song. She got a lot of royalties for
Yes.
"Start All Over."
Which
So, I
makes
mean,
me like, I'm begging her to. I know I give Olivia Rodrigo her flowers, but it's truly because of the producer she works with, Dan Nigro, who was in a band as tall as lions. That was an emo band that I grew up in college listening to. And it just makes me so happy that these emo bands are working alongside pop artists. If Fifi Dobson can get in the studio with a pop artist that she really like has envisioned, I think she would do great in a
she would
production view.
She also, one of her songs, "Don't Let It Go to Your Head," Jordan Sparks redid it. It was really
Yeah.
good. She's an amazing songwriter, amazing, and I think that if she could hone in on that, but she's also an amazing singer. Her last album, I think, was Joy with Stuttering and I Can't Breathe, amazing songs. But her first album to me, her debut self-titled, the blue one, is still my favorite album by her to this day.
Bye Bye Boyfriend and Take Me Away was
Yes!
like a rotation on MTV.
Take Me Away was that song, was Bye Bye Boyfriend. Again, her arrangements, like, to go from that slow rock to that really heavy, hard rock, she just had something. I just love Fifi.
I love her too, and I forget that she's Canadian. That is great representation for you, Alexandria.
Thank you. I had to go with the Canadians this time. It's gonna be Avril, but we changed it up.
I'm gonna have you on soon. I need to have you on for a mini episode, and we can definitely talk about Avril in the early 2000s because she was a huge impact in me as well. I remember wearing a wife beater and a tie in freshman year of high school because of her, and
Or she's
cargo
iconic.
shorts. Yes.
She's absolutely iconic. We love her.
Uh, Alexandria, thank you so much for joining me on my podcast. I am so glad that we got to talk and catch up on pop culture. Can you please let my listeners know where they can find you or if you have anything cool to plug in?
Sure. So you can find my podcast, Pessimism at its Finest. You can also find it at that on Instagram. If you're into romance books and just like films in general, you can find me at Romance at its Finest, where I read a lot of arcs and review them. So you can find me on either one, Pessimism at its Finest or Romance at its Finest.
Please check it out, guys. And as always, you can check us out on Patreon if you'd like to watch this video the day before the audio releases on the mainstream, or please subscribe to our YouTube where I've been having so much fun uploading our videos with some graphics on there too. And also rate and review our podcast 5 stars. It really helps us grow and it actually connects us more in the community with fellow podcasters. As always, guys, I hope you're having a best week ever. Bye.